Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Your friendly neighborhood gamer man here. If you guys recall from my past video, this is my Arcade 1-Up Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 that we swapped out with Sanwa joysticks and new buttons, and we were enjoying it. So the PCB basically failed twice within less than a year. Arcade 1-Up wanted $85 with shipping for a new one, and I was like, F that, I'm gonna do something better. So check this out. So what I did here was I installed a Raspberry Pi 4B and the Batasera 512GB image with all these awesome games, including the original 12 that were on this cabinet and a little bit of better versions too. And everything turns on with that one switch, and I'll put a link to that as well. And when you turn it on, it goes right into the game. Here, see that Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
What's the point?
So what I'm going to do is use my Dremel bit first to drill a couple of holes for a few extra buttons. And if you don't feel comfortable drilling through the control panel, you can just drill through the panel underneath, the J panel I believe it's called. It's much easier, and I use these for select anyway. Alright, so let's test the switch now. Basically, it's just of button wires, the same connectors that you would use for the 1-Up buttons. I'm using Sanwa buttons, crown buttons, but they were the same connectors. One of these pieces, I don't know what this is called, but I can put a link in Amazon. This is a really cool tool. I used it for many applications where you can put bare wires into a converter, which will convert it into this type of end. Here you can use a 5 or a 12 volt adapter. I'm using a 5 volt adapter right now for this. So just plug the button in. I spliced a bunch of wires too, so I just used electrical tape. Cover up the exposed ends. Just connect these, so you do have to put them in the right spot where it's negative and positive. So you can either follow the wires or use my luck and try a 50-50 chance. Oh, I got it. So you can just touch it. You don't even have to put it in to test it. Put this one in. So it works. I'm going to tape up these ends with electrical tape, and then I will get it into the control panel. So I need to make one more wire a little larger. just grabbed one of these that I already have from the set. I have like 10 sets, all these laying around. I, for some reason, don't have any long cables, long wires left, so just get my tool right here, like a splicer tool. Cut this, make the cable a little longer. Actually, this might not be long enough. Let me see if I can find another cable and I'll splice it and tape it together. Yeah, here we go. I found a longer one. I'll just use this for now. Now for good. So stick it in here, splicing tool. Splice it. So now we have the exposed end. Take it, put it right around this end, and then cover it up with the electrical tape. Alright, so here we go. Both buttons in, both lit up. You see I put them over the existing Mortal Kombat logos. I figured it's a good spot. If you're not as lazy as me and you want to drill a bigger hole for a button, then you can cover it completely, but I'm okay with this. And I like that those two are lit up. These others are not. Kind of a different look. So yeah, let's get to the encoder. So you see back here, that's the original arcade 1-up encoder, and this will just be a spare part right now because we will use two separate encoders that will work with the USB input, and then we'll connect the Raspberry Pi to that. So we'll get those and we'll attach it and start rewiring. So this is the encoder purchased from DIY Retro. Nothing fancy, from Amazon as well. I like purchasing my parts from there though as much as I can. Trust the quality a little more. And what I'm going to do now is I'll unscrew this one and then we'll start wiring. See if I can reuse the original holder here. Just screw these new ones onto the control panel. So here's my LVDS board that I purchased from DIY Retro. And what we'll do right now is we will make this monitor compatible with HDMI, so it'll work with the Raspberry Pi. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually use this cardboard. I'm going to cut it out here, and I'm going to tape it to the back of the monitor because we don't want this to touch the monitor in case it can have a short and burn out. And then I'll connect it. I like to use either double-sided tape or this double-sided Velcro. I use for a lot of things, commercial strength. I'm going to use that to connect it. This double-sided Velcro was pretty strong, and I don't know if you call it double-sided. It's two pieces that Velcro together, and it's pretty thick, so two layers or two levels of protection. I'm going to hang it right over here, and then I'll Velcro the LVDS board on top of that. Also, what I already did was I spliced into the cable from the marquee, so I cut the end off and put one of these on. I use these a lot. You can get these right on Amazon. And then a 12-volt adapter, and it'll power on with the arcade. There's a few ways to do this. I could have gotten a different adapter because this piece, I don't know if you've seen the end of the arcade 1-up marquees, they're very thin, and it won't fit into these connectors from the 12 volts. So one time I did find an adapter, and it was pretty hard to find. If you've ever gotten one of those light up coin doors from like Etsy or eBay, a lot of those sellers will give you the adapter with it because it needs to plug into the marquee, and then it splits to get the power. But this is a quick, easy way. I didn't want to spend any extra money, so just cut it open. I already had all these pieces, and this one also just cost $1 or something. So now we need a solution for the audio. What I'm going to try to do is go straight into the LVDS board with this cable, connect it with this cable so I have this output, and then a splitter, and this will go into the existing speakers, and this will go into a bass speaker that I have. Well, regardless of this part, the reason I'm not going straight into the Raspberry Pi, which does have a 3.5 millimeter out, is because it's not powered. So I need power to run those speakers, unless I purchase, some external computer speakers or a sound bar, which I don't want to do. I want to try to use the existing speakers because I also have a nice powered bass amp in there that I used before, so I do want to try the solution. So as you can hear now, it worked. This is the connection, and I was able to plug in my subwoofer. Now this controller that's attached to the LVDS board controls the volume up and down, or you could do it right from the Raspberry Pi with the buttons anyway. So I don't know, I could put this here, or I saw online some people were doing some soldering work with the actual volume button and soldering it back here, and then you can use the volume up down from the control panel. I'm not going to mess with that just yet because I could just press a few buttons on the board and have it up and down. Back here, I just velcroed it to the back of the monitor. Really easy, took about a minute to do all this. So this is my Pi4 that I'll be using, and I'm going to put it into this case. I always like to use a case or an external fan that I use because you don't want it to start overheating. Once it overheats, I've had this problem with volume going out, audio going out completely, and problems with the video, and then glitches and restarting and just freezing. So let's do that now. Oh, and also the cable, you'll need one of these connectors because it's not like a Pi4 has a regular size HDMI connection. This one is a mini, so you need something. See that? Mini connection, mini HDMI. So you'll need a little converter. I just had this one laying around. It's like a right angle converter, but they sell a lot of different ones. Doesn't matter which one you get. So I have everything connected here to 2 surge protectors, and then it's connected to 1 switch to turn it on, and you can put that inside the cab too, and you can put this on the wall. So yes, this is Mortal Kombat 1. I'm connected through Steam, and I'm using my son's pretty high-end gaming PC to run that game. So once you convert that monitor to HDMI and you have a USB connected encoder, you can pretty much connect any kind of PC to it.
Then I have to be hit.
I used an app called, I think, X360 to map the buttons as well. I couldn't map them directly through Steam for some reason, but I can show you that app. It's really easy to use and really convenient.
So that's left trigger.
So, I mean, how cool is that? We're playing now Mortal Kombat 1, a brand new, super high speed, high graphic Mortal Kombat on an arcade 1-up that I paid $199 for, that a few hours ago didn't work at all. I think that's pretty cool.
Round 2. Fight.
See if it'll go.